If you love podcasting as much as I do, you may be considering starting your own. Starting a podcast has been one of the best decisions I have ever made, but getting started can feel overwhelming. Buzzsprout is the easiest and most professional way to start a podcast. Buzzsprout has helped over 100,000 people launch their own podcasts, including me. Buzzsprout will launch your show on all of the major podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play, to name a few. You also get a podcast website, audio players that can be dropped into other websites, and stats of who is listening, and so much more. Buzzsprout also publishes blog posts, podcasts, and YouTube videos every week. They are great tools and have useful information from expert podcasters. To start your own podcast and get a $20 Amazon gift card, follow the link in our show notes. This lets Buzzsprout know that I sent you, and it supports my show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start a podcast.
Crime, Wine, and Chaos contains adult language and graphic content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey listeners, I'm Amber.
And I'm Naomi, and this is Crime, Wine, and Chaos. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm splendid. How are you?
You know what? I've been better.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna just say this.
Okay.
My ass hurts.
What were you doing?
So,
Oh.
so Jake and I.
Uh-oh.
Jake
Nope.
and I. We went roller skating last night. Yeah, and so there was. Okay, let me tell you something. First of all,
Okay.
I haven't been roller skating since I was like, I don't know, 12. So it's
Right.
been like over 30 years since I was in a skating rink. And they have these things now. I don't know if you've been, but they have these things now that are like, they look kind of like walkers, like for old people when you can't ride, but
I'm
they're like
familiar.
triangle shape instead, and they have wheels on them, and they're short. So they're for little kids. They're not really for adults, right? So there were a bunch of little kids out there with all of us adults, like pushing around on their roller skates with these walkers, which made their footprint on the rink quite large. And I was taking a turn, and this like 7-year-old girl decided she wanted to leave the floor, and she just turned a sharp right and just made a straight line across the path of all of us skaters, and there was just no way I could stop in time, and I ran into a 7-year-old with a walker.
Stop it.
And I hit the hardwood. Like, I purposefully cushioned my fall. Like, I don't know how I had the wherewithal to do this, but I purposely landed like full force on my ass, like on my ass cheeks.
No.
Like I bounced off the hardwoods on my ass cheeks.
Oh no.
And I was fine last night. I was just a little like, my ass cheeks hurt a little, but I woke up this morning and my tailbone is like really
It's always
bruised.
the next day. It's always the next day.
It's always the next day.
Oh, sister, I am sorry. Yeah, I went roller skating twice this year, even though I hadn't been in like 30 years. And it's fucking hard.
It's hard work.
Yeah. We used to roller skate a lot. It is hard. What the hell?
We were sweating, and we had a great time. Don't get me wrong. We had a really great time. It was really fun. But yeah, we were like, that was way more of a workout than we were expecting.
And okay, why were you roller skating?
It was an event for it was a recovery event for a bunch of people down in the South End. So it was just for funsies, and a friend of mine was celebrating, and we decided to go down and join her and a bunch of people and roller skate. And, also because, like, we want to say yes to things, and do stuff.
Sure.
And it was like, yeah, sure, we'll roller skate. Why not? So that's how we ended up down there last night.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was really fun.
Wow. Good for you, sister. Good for you for getting out
Thanks.
there. Ass sore and everything.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
don't have
mean,
anything
ass
even
sore.
remotely like that. No. I think generally, though, if your ass is sore, like you had a good time.
That's
Right?
right. That's right. I mean,
That's
mostly.
right. I mean,
There's a few scenarios I can think of where that might not be
Well-
true, but
a good time was attempted. Maybe. No?
that's true. No, we had a good time. We had a good time.
Good. I love all that for you.
So, nothing new for you?
Well, let's see. I went to band practice today, and I've been battling this nasty sinus infection, and so
Ugh.
I pulled out my best Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh while I sang today, and that was great.
I don't know what that means.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
He's the squeaky little voice guy on South Park. It was some
don't watch that.
combination. Okay, I don't either, but it was some combination of that and one of Marge Simpson's sisters. So,
Now that reference I understand.
okay, all right. So I did that today. That was not a cute look, and yeah, and now I'm back here doing this. Just keep the ball rolling,
Okay.
Yeah, that's about
well,
all I got.
I'm gonna. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be a better co-host today, and I'm gonna ask you, what are you drinking today?
Oh
Amber?
my gosh! Thank you for asking. What I have here. Oh my god! It's like I've been waiting for this show and tell. I'm drinking a Matt Parrish Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley, a 2019, from my Naked Wines order, and it's delicious.
Caveat: we are not sponsored by Naked Wines.
No, I would like to be though.
I was like, we should be, right? Shouldn't you be? Yeah.
Yeah, I should be. Yeah, but I'm not. Also, I don't know when this episode comes out, but I'll do a quick plug. October 16th at the Rendezvous in Belltown, if you're in the Seattle area, Tinfoil Top Hat will be playing for Rocktoberfest at the Rendezvous. I don't know what the other band lineup is, but it sounds pretty cool. So if you like live music, come check that out. And,
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you
Well,
ready to
fuck.
be
Bummed out.
severely bummed out? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right. Now that you're a little bit lubricated with the wine, and we've had a little foreplay
Lubricated.
here.
Well, are we
okay.
back to the ass references? What's going on? I'm lubricated with foreplay. Let's go.
When are we not? When are we
I
not
know.
back to the ass references? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, let me know if you've heard of this. So I'm going to tell you the story about the murder of Mary Collins.
Mary Collins. No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. Let me tell you about Mary.
Okay.
She's pretty awesome. So, Mary Santina Collins was born July 6, 1999 in Charlotte, North Carolina. She lived with her grandparents. Her grandmother, Mia Alderman, was her main caretaker. But her mom and her aunts were always there doting on her as well. And she was also surrounded by her brother, her sisters, and even a lot of cousins. Her grandmother started to notice there was something going on with Mary when she was about 3 months old, because she would have to feed baby Mary while sitting up. Mary would have to be in the sitting up position in order for her to keep anything down. So over time, baby Mary started missing developmental milestones, and Grandma Mia raised these issues with doctors who dismissed her concerns.
Of course,
And then Mary
yeah.
would finally, right, of course. And then Mary would finally reach these milestones, right? Just on a big delay.
Mm-hmm.
So Grandma continued to advocate for Mary, and she documented her observations and Mary's struggles to develop. And she started doing her own research, and she started looking for help from specialists. At the age of 3, Mary was finally diagnosed with 22q, which is sometimes known as DeGeorge syndrome.
Oh,
22q11, yep, 22q11.2 deletion syndrome. It's a genetic disorder caused by a microdeletion of chromosome 22, which is present from the time the child is conceived, right?
Okay.
So 22q deletion is almost as common as Down syndrome, and it's present in 1 out of 1,000 live pregnancies. And the deletion has the potential to affect almost every system in the body and can cause a really wide range of health problems. Like no two people are exactly alike or affected in exactly the same way, and ranges in severity are like can differ, much like the autism spectrum, right? So
Right.
many
Okay.
doctors aren't right. Many doctors aren't really hip to this syndrome. It's right. So there's just not a lot as much known about it as we would like. So it contributes to a lot of family struggles to find a diagnosis. So around the same time, Mary's also diagnosed with what's called a submucous cleft palate, or SMCP, which is common with 22q. So it's basically like, rather than a cleft palate that is visible, it's a palate that is that doesn't form properly underneath the membrane of the roof of the mouth. So it's harder to see and it's harder to diagnose. And Mary's was quite severe and required surgery. And the doctor told the family that he didn't know if Mary would ever even speak.
Is that why she couldn't swallow?
It definitely, I'm sure, contributed to that, for sure.
Oh, man.
So,
God.
I know. It's right. It's just kind of like one thing after another. But Mary was already communicating with her family. She was learning sign language, and she carried around a little notebook with her everywhere she went. And every person that cared for Mary wrote down each sign as she learned them, and they were learning to sign with her. So she had communication skills. And the first sign she ever learned was friend.
Oh.
Because
I love it. Okay.
I know. Mary always wanted to have and to be a friend.
Yeah.
So by the age of 6, she did speak, defying all the odds. I mean, it was impaired and only her family could really understand her, but she was speaking and she did find her voice.
Wow.
When she was 8, Mia, her grandma, took Mary to Duke University to participate in a study on 22q, since the syndrome is still not very well understood. And Grandma was looking forward to answers to better help Mary, and Mary was looking forward to the $100 for participating.
Oh, it's a participation study. Can I ask really quick too? Like, what's the deal with her mom? Why is Grandma in charge of all the things, but her mom is there?
I was never quite able to find that out.
Okay.
That part was not really clear to me, and so I'm not 100% sure why it was Grandma and not Mom. Like, Mom was definitely around, but she lived with her grandparents, and her grandparents were the ones who raised her. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So when they were done, Mary took that $100 and she donated all of it to Smile Train. And Smile Train is a nonprofit who, among other things, covers the cost of surgery on cleft palates around the world.
Oh my God. So Mary is a saint.
She's an absolute doll. She's an absolute doll. She was 8 when this happened. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So thanks to participating in the study, Grandma did get some answers to her questions about Mary's syndrome, and Mary was diagnosed with multiple learning disabilities. So her grandmother was better able to understand how to help Mary, right? Just for our listeners at home, Amber is disrobing or something. I'm not really sure what's happening. Is it no bra time? I don't know.
Nope. It's no bra Sunday. No, it's just very hot in here. I have a tank top on.
Okay.
It's very hot in this room.
Okay, great. Okay. It's because you're smoking, sissy. You're smoking.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. So she was described by her elementary school principal as innocent. She remembers Mary as the little girl who always wanted to hug her in the halls. The words vulnerable and sweet are used by numerous people who knew her when asked to talk about her, and she always saw the best in people.
Jesus Christ. And this little kid has every reason to be bitter and have behavioral issues and be pissed at the world. And she's just got this positive disposition. Oh, man. We need more Marys in this world. You're going to bum me the fuck out. Okay.
I'm sorry. By the time she was a teenager, Mary had a love for music and she had great taste. She loved Kurt Cobain and Elvis Presley.
Wow. That's quite the range.
Yep. There was a
Rock
lot
and
more
roll.
in between. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she would sing and dance in her room, and she had a knack for photography. She loved makeup and dyeing her hair and wearing wigs in every color of the rainbow. She learned how to do cat eye eyeliner and all that stuff. Right. So Mary's family said that she had a gift for seeing things that other people didn't. Mary's aunt, Kara Williams, said, quote, "She had such a light about her. She was loving and silly."
Oh.
Mary had an impeccable sense of humor, and she loved to pull one over on her family. She was always caught doing little pranks and stuff. She was kind of impish that way. She was very sweet, and she expected everyone else to be sweet too, right? She moved through the world with that idea that she was approaching everyone with sweetness, and everyone would approach her that way, which made her really vulnerable and really easily manipulated. It's really safe to say that she was very trusting and very naive.
Okay. Fuck.
Okay. So through high school, she was really close with her siblings and aunts, and she did have a few friends. But after graduation, her friends, of course, went off to college and start, their young adult lives. And Mary wasn't ready for that because of her diagnosis at the age of 20. She had the mentality of like a 14 or a 15-year-old. And she struggled with kind of normal everyday things, right? She struggled to count change, to navigate her own neighborhood. She didn't drive. She didn't have a license. She worked really hard to fit in.
Is her like physical mobility affected at all, or is this all mostly like her mental, like comprehension, or does she move around okay?
Yeah, from all accounts, her physical is fine. Like they talked about the submucous cleft palate, but other than that, she didn't really seem to have any major like physical disabilities. But this definitely affected her mentally.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she worked really hard to fit in and navigate life as a young person with special needs, right? And her grandma wanted to give her freedom to keep growing, but she also wanted to keep her safe, right? So in March of 2020, Mary was 20 years old and she was getting reckless in lockdown. Grandma Mia was taking all the recommended precautions, including quarantining at home with Mary and some of the family, even before like official quarantine. She had started it earlier because they have a lot of family in Italy, and Mia had been in communication with the family in Italy, and she was, well, we remember what fucking went down in Italy, right? Jesus Christ. So she was like, she had major concerns. And plus, Mary, her heart is affected by her syndrome. And so Mia was, concerned about her getting COVID with, possible like heart problems. Right.
Yeah.
So by March 28th, Mary was tired of sitting at home when a friend of hers, Kelly Lavery, reached out. So Mary knew Lavery through another friend, Lavi Pham, who Mary had briefly dated when they were in high school together. And when I say dated, I mean like they hung out with like at her family's house for a couple of weeks together.
Right.
Nothing happened, right? And then they broke up, quote unquote, or whatever, right?
Sure.
And they stayed friends.
Okay.
So Lavi Pham and Kelly Lavery, they were living together in like a fancy gated community apartment called The Yards. And Lavery invited Mary over to their apartment to hang out and have a girls' night. And Mary was really excited. She really wanted to get out of the house. And Lavery was offering friendship, which is all Mary's ever looking for, right? And so
is Lavery now dating? Oh, sorry. Is Lavery now dating this guy that's her? Okay.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. So Mary's family wasn't excited about this. This was the day the governor of North Carolina had officially shut down the state. And also they did not like Lavery. Mm-hmm. Lavery was 4 years older than Mary. And Lavery had been shitty to Mary on Facebook and other social media platforms.
Really?
Comments under a photo Mary had posted of herself from Lavery said, Yikes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And Fom commented, ew.
Oh. And also, if there's a 4-year age gap, that's really like a 6-year age gap for Mary.
Or more, right?
10 years.
8,
I mean,
10. Yeah.
it's way, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah.
God, that's so fucking rude.
Well, there's another comment from Lavery that on that same post that said something like, have you ever thought maybe, just maybe, you ain't shit? I'd want to disappear ASAP, to be honest.
Jesus Christ. I fucking hate her. Okay.
Mm-hmm. This wasn't the only incident. Lavery had bullied Mary on several occasions and had at least once told her she should kill herself.
Oh.
But then she would offer Mary friendship. It's all very weird, right? And so, like, as her grandma, you could understand why she was not excited. But Mary was so desperate for friends, she just overlooked this shit.
Oh, that is so sad.
Yeah. So Lavery pays for and sends an Uber to pick up Mary, and on Saturday, March 28th at approximately 2:30 p.m., the Uber arrives. Mary's grandma basically begs Mary not to go, and even asks the Uber driver not to take her. Neither Mary or the driver are hearing it, and off Mary goes. And this will be the last time Mia ever sees her precious Mary.
Oh, no, God.
Mia knew that Mary arrived because they had GPS location turned on for Mary's phone. But as the night went on, Mary didn't return or call, didn't come home. She didn't call. She didn't text. And all through the night, nothing.
Oh, fuck.
So the next day, Mia was really worried. It's still radio silence, not even anything on social media for Mary, which was not normal for her. But Fam, however, had a video on Twitter of himself, Lavery, and Mary coming back to the apartment with sushi, which is like Mary's favorite thing. And Mary is smiling and clearly having a good time. Lavery's arm is draped over Mary's shoulders, and they're walking down the hall, and Lavery makes the devil horns at the camera. So Mia decides that Mary's okay. She was with her friends. She was enjoying her favorite food. She decided she would just wait for Mary to text her. But by the next day, March 30th, when Mary's grandmother still hadn't heard from her, she was done waiting. So she went over to that fancy apartment and knocked on their door.
Good for Grandma.
Right?
Yeah. Fuck.
So she asks Fam and Lavery where Mary was, and they told her that Mary left earlier in the day.
But she can't, like, and went where?
Yeah, Mia knows that they're lying.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, I hate these fucking people. Okay.
So she yells for Mary. She gets no answer. She demands to be let in to look around, and they let her in.
Uh-oh.
But they won't let her into the master bedroom. So she leaves. She looks all around the complex. She searches for hours and does not find Mary. And at this point, she's frantic, right? So she calls 911, and the operator tells her that she has to go home to make a report.
Why? What the fuck? It's 2020.
Yeah. So her gut is telling her that Mary is in that apartment, and she doesn't want to leave. But she goes home so she can file this fucking report.
Fucking police departments and their report filing. Jesus Christ.
Just wait. Just wait.
Great.
So the cops do nothing. Mary is an adult, and it's not illegal to disappear, right?
So did they have anything? Well, fuck right off. But they didn't have anything in place as far as guardianship because she actually wasn't capable of being an adult. Any like legal documents in place that said like legally she's not an adult, or you know what I mean?
I guess not.
Huh.
So
Wow.
they refuse to hear from Grandma that Mary not only isn't the kind of person that just walks away, but that she is developmentally delayed and she can't navigate the city. She can't. That she's in danger. So another night goes by without any trace from Mary.
Oh no.
March 31st, The next day, an official missing persons report was filed with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, which is not what her family wanted because they knew she was in danger, not missing. They were certain she had never left that apartment.
Of course.
Right. So, Grandma makes a missing persons flyer that says, Mary Santina Collins was last seen March 28th, 2020 at a friend's house on Rollerton Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was wearing a black and gray striped shirt. She took an Uber from her grandmother's house where she lives to her friend's house, and no one there knows where she went or saw her leave.
Good for Grandma.
They never saw her leave?
Uh-huh. Right. God, I fucking hate these people. Okay.
So
you are bumming me out.
I'm sorry, sissy.
That's all right.
The detective assigned to the case was also on the flyer, Detective Jonathan Gaskin. I'm going to throw another person in front of you to get mad at.
Okay.
Another officer, not Gaskin, finally goes to the apartment and knocks on the door, but since no one answered, he just left.
Oh. Yeah, this happened in last week's episode, and that was 1987.
Yep.
And here we are, how many years later, and it's not gotten better.
That's right.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
So Grandma Badass goes back to the apartment herself,
Mm-hmm.
but she can't get to their door because this is a very secure building, right? It's a fancy place. So she tries to get a hold of someone in the office, which was extra hard because of the lockdown and people were working from home. But she finally, right. But she finally gets one of the apartment managers on the phone, and he says he will review the security footage for her and look for Mary. So by that afternoon, Gaskin finally calls Grandma, but he tells her that he couldn't make it out to the apartment that day to look for Mary, but Mia can call 911 again.
You can just continue to clog up the 911 dispatch when you've already done that and there's already a case filed that I'm supposed to be working.
She told him that Mary wasn't just missing, she was in immediate danger and needed help. He told her that he didn't need to respond to the scene. He could work the case from where he was.
Oh my God. I hate everything right now.
So Mia told him that she had contracted the building manager who was reviewing the security footage for her, and Gaskin's response to that was, "That's good."
It's also your job, but okay.
So Mia does call 911 again and tries again to explain the urgency of this situation. Mary's mom and one of her friends meets Grandma at the apartment, and an officer arrives, and Mary's mom and the officer go up to the apartment and knock on the door. Fam answered the door, but he refused to allow the officer in. He did allow Mary's mom inside, and she even went into the back room where someone was sleeping on a bed in there underneath a sheet.
Okay. Oh, God.
Fam said it was Lavery, but Mary's mom saw no movement of any kind under the sheet, and she found nothing related to Mary and left.
Oh, God.
The officer spoke to the manager of the complex, but advised him not to look at the cameras.
What the fuck? Why? What is going on?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
But I will tell you, this was proved to be a very bad decision because ultimately all the footage was lost.
No. Is it one of those where 24 hours and it resets itself, or?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So
God.
Another night came and went with no sign of Mary.
Mm-hmm.
So April 1st, 5 days since Mary left the house, her family realized they were not being heard or understood by the police. They begged Gaskin to look at the surveillance footage. He said he would need a warrant, which is clearly not true. The apartment manager was totally willing to show the police the footage. So Mary's family was just not going to give up. They printed and passed out more flyers. They went to social media. They organized search parties, and an ad hoc surveillance operation was put together by friends and family who took shifts outside of Fam and Lavery's apartment.
God, good for them.
Gaskin warned them not to bang on the apartment door and that Fam and Lavery were feeling, quote, threatened.
Okay, well, oh my God.
Yeah, no, They were feeling so threatened, Amber, that they actually messaged multiple family members if anyone had heard from Mary and shared her missing flyer on social media.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Family, friends, and community were searching everywhere, but the police were nowhere to be found in these efforts. They even brought out drones and bloodhounds. The family, not the police. The family brought out drones and bloodhounds.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Gaskin informed Mary's grandma that he had searched their apartment and that Mia insisted again that Fam and Lavery had something to do with Mary's disappearance. And his reply to her was, "Do you not understand? She's not there."
Oh. God. Okay.
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 April 3rd, 2020. Mary's family continues to take things into their own hands. They call the apartment manager asking to review the surveillance footage, which is approved by corporate, all in about 10 whole minutes. No search warrant needed.
Wow. Okay.
They watched hours of footage and never saw Mary because it was a new month.
Oh, no.
Mary had entered the apartment on the 28th of March, and this was now the 3rd of April, and corporate policy at the complex was to wipe security footage at the end of the month.
Fuck.
It had been deleted an hour before they arrived.
No. Oh, my God. You are not just bumming me out. You're making me furious, and I don't know why you hate me.
I love you so much, sissy.
I love you so much.
Now you know how it feels to be on the other side. Okay.
I don't. Oh, okay.
So the family calls Gaskin again. They have a bloodhound handler, and this guy's willing to run through the apartment complex, and they have permission from the apartment complex management. They just need Gaskin to sign off.
And he fucking doesn't.
He just didn't respond to them.
I hate this guy.
So they lost that opportunity. So finally, 7 days after Mary went missing, CMPD was taking her case seriously. Apparently, the reason they hadn't up to this point is because they had received information that Mary had done this before, and CMPD didn't think she was in danger.
Where did they get this information?
Gaskin never asked the family about this story, that Mary had run off before, and no one knows who called the police and told them that.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
And another night passes without finding Mary.
Oh.
April 4th, 2020, 8 days have passed since Mary disappeared. Mary's mom goes back to the apartment complex to continue viewing the footage, while at the same time consulting trafficking experts. I mean, at this point, they're just looking for any avenue, right?
Yeah, of course.
So as the day comes to an end, Grandma doesn't want to leave the complex, and she's going to sleep right there on the grounds.
Oh, Grandma. God.
Then she gets a phone call at 10 p.m. and someone who had been aiding in the search that Grandma had given her phone number to tells her that Mary had been found.
Okay.
There was an ambulance at the apartment complex. And so Mia's like, oh, well, they're taking her to the hospital. Then she might, right, we need to go meet her at the hospital. So she goes to the closest hospital thinking that that's where they took Mary. And she wasn't allowed in because COVID.
Oh, my God. This fucking COVID. You don't think about all the ways that COVID affected everything, like investigations and missing persons and being able to just access services that you should be able. Oh my God. Wow.
But then they inform her that Mary isn't at that hospital. So then her son-in-law calls and tells her to come home. Mia goes home. And two uniformed officers the family had never met before informed them that Mary had been murdered.
Oh, no.
Not a phone call from Gaskin. He didn't show up.
Fuck that guy.
On the night of April 4th, 2020, acting on a credible tip, CMPD executed a search warrant on Fam and Lavery's apartment. They encountered Fam on his way out of the complex. They found Lavery passed out in a bed in the apartment, and they were almost unable to wake her. I think she was fucking loaded.
Okay.
Once they were both removed from the apartment, the search began, and based on their tip, they went straight to the back bedroom and searched the bed, and they found Mary's body inside the mattress wrapped in contractor-grade trash bags, plastic wrap, and covered in dish soap and pumpkin spice body wash.
Oh no, to cover up the smell of decomp.
That's
Oh
right.
my God.
Mary's ID and bank card were also found in the bedroom. Blood was found in the master bedroom and the bathroom.
Oh no.
Plastic wrap, duct tape, and a box for contractor-grade trash bags were also found. Lavery and Pham were arrested and booked on charges of kidnapping, murder, and concealing a death.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's the thing. That credible tip was actually called in fucking twice.
What?
This was actually the second time they had searched the apartment.
They already searched the apartment and didn't find her?
Police claim the reason they found none of the stuff in their initial search on April 2nd was because it was a consent search agreed to by Pham and wasn't as detailed as the second. The master bedroom was even searched and the mattress lifted to search underneath it.
Oh my God.
CMPD said they went back for the second search. They were shocked at how well she was concealed. They actually had to open the mattress to find her.
Is this the mattress that they're sleeping on
I don't know.
in the master bedroom?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
So that tip.
Mm-hmm.
A witness came forward just before the search, stating that Jimmy Salerno was bragging about being at a party with Mary and that Pham and Lavery had beat her up, tied her in a bathtub, and later hid her body in a mattress, and they planned to burn the mattress with her body inside.
Oh my God. They beat her up? No.
So Salerno was 18. He already had a record, and he was a friend of Pham's. Mary knew him, and she did not like him. She thought he was mean and rude.
Mm-hmm.
When the witness realized Mary's body still hadn't been found, they came forward again and brought another witness who had also heard Salerno make these claims. This is when they finally brought in homicide detectives and took the case for missing persons.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
April 5th, 2020, Salerno was also arrested and charged with kidnapping, murder, and concealing a death.
Mm-hmm.
The autopsy was performed the next day, April 6, 2020.
Is this going to be really bad?
Yeah.
Oh no.
She had bruises all over her body, most notably a large bruise covering most of her scalp. She had clearly been beaten. She had 133 cutting wounds all over her body, varying in type and severity.
What the fuck?
None of them were very deep or hit any major vessels or internal organs, not even the stab wounds. Her cause of death was due to multiple sharp trauma injuries. Basically, she slowly bled to death.
So they tortured her.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ. What is wrong with these people?
Well, I'll give you a little bit on them. Many weeks later, on May 12th, 2020, 18-year-old America Deal was arrested and charged with felony accessory after the fact and concealing a death. She turned herself in, but only after she fled to Colorado, where she was hiding out.
Okay.
Investigators were able to tie her to the scene through messages and social media. Turns out she knew Salerno. She met him on Tinder.
Oh, God. Okay.
She claims she was forced into hiding the body. She described Lavery as the ringleader telling everyone what to do.
Okay. Sure.
So Deal bonded out on a $100,000 bond and is reportedly living with her family in South Carolina awaiting her trial. I can't find any more beyond that. But not everyone in her family is cool with that. While she was still in jail before she got bonded out, her own sister took to social media and wrote, quote, I know her personally as I am her sister, and I can tell you that the cell she is sitting in is exactly where she belongs. The majority of her own family believes this as well. This type of crime was just in the shadows, waiting for her to escalate and perform. Innocent people don't flee to Colorado after one of the three involved tell them he or she is about to be arrested for a murder. You go to the police and file a report on the information you just received. If they made you clean up and dispose of the body, then why didn't she go to the police once the other three were in custody if you were supposedly afraid for your life? You don't fear for your life if the others are in a jail cell. She was with this gang the entire week that Mary was missing, doing drugs and God knows what else. But she conveniently wasn't there when a 19-year-old girl with a cognitive impairment was murdered. That's bullshit. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will.
Holy shit. That says a lot if that's her own sister saying that. That says a lot.
Yep.
Wow. Fuck. Oh.
Deal was on social media herself after Mary's murder. On April 29th, 2020, she shared a to-do list, Amber.
Because people give a fucking shit about her to-do list? What does it look like?
You ready?
Oh, I don't think so, but
No,
okay.
Okay. 1, praise the Lord.
Okay, so she's already found Jesus. That's great. Good for you.
2, break the law.
Okay.
3, take what's mine.
Wow.
4, take some more.
So we're dealing with like a fucking sociopath here, possibly.
Or like 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Okay, that's a look.
April 30th, she posted, "It's a good ass day not to give a fuck, let me tell ya."
Oh my God. She sounds lovely.
May 5th. "Who the fuck else wants to be deleted? That makes 16 people today. Who's fucking next?"
Oh my God.
There's more social media for some of these guys. Fam, who went by the handle deadfuck on Twitter, posted on April 4th, the same day Mary was found, an image of a cartoon duck holding a knife, and the caption was, "Yes."
Oh God, that just gave me the chills. That's fucking dark.
Yeah.
What is wrong with these people?
Wait till you see them. Their mugshots are glorious. Okay.
Oh, good.
Lavery was an internet troll. That was like her thing. And she liked to brag about her daddy's money.
Oh, gross.
In comments on Instagram, arguing with someone, she said, quote, "I graduated with a 4.0 and honors, so I don't think so. I'm living rent-free, bills-free. My entire life is handed to me on a diamond-encrusted platter, so I don't think so, sweetie. Not my fault I'm so perfect. I can get a cold-hearted N-word to propose in 4 months."
Oh my God. She is disgusting.
She's so gross. She's so gross.
Oh my God. Fucking gross. We share the same earth with people like this.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. In other comments, she says she's really sorry. She says she's sorry for bullying someone online. She did it because she was bored.
She's not fucking sorry.
No, she's not sorry.
What a asshole. Okay.
In her yearbook, under her senior picture, her answers to the following prompts are future career plans, undecided. In 10 years, I will be richer than all of you.
Jesus fucking Christ. She's just, wow. Wow. She thinks she's quite the princess, doesn't she?
Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, gross. I hate her.
So, because of COVID, of course, the wheels of justice turned even more slowly than usual. In June of this year, 2022, Lavery pled guilty to second-degree murder, kidnapping, and concealment of a body, and received 20 to 25 years for the murder and kidnapping, an additional 5 to 7 for the concealment. She could serve up to 32 years.
Okay.
Fam and Salerno pled not guilty, and neither have gone to trial yet. Like I said, I couldn't find any updates on Deal. It seems that no one has gone to trial for any of this yet. The family is furious that they let Lavery plead out, and they think her sentence isn't long enough. Mary's grandfather, who she called Papa, wrote a letter that was read aloud in one of Deal's bond hearings. Part of his letter said, Mary was born with velocardiofacial syndrome, a chromosome deletion, specifically the 22q chromosome. Her spirit was too free and rambunctious to be defined by this disability, yet there is no denying this affected her life in profound ways. A prism that she always looked through. The most obvious manifestations of VCFS with regards to Mary was her speech impediment. People that first met her would find difficulties in understanding Mary fully when she spoke. This led to a sort of innate shyness on Mary's part, understandably. Surely every parent that starts an exercise such as this note finds it hard to quantify the value of a child or measure the impact that she had on the people she touched along the way. With Mary, this is especially true. Words do not have the value or carry enough currency to fully encapsulate Mary to those that didn't know her. Trying to describe Mary is like trying to describe music. They exist on another plane beyond verbiage, descriptors, and punctuation.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
So I feel good about sharing the story because Mary's family really wants her story to be shared. Their frustrations and their struggles with the police department and getting the help that they needed was unacceptable. And they want better for people like Mary. So they have there's a website called justiceformarysantina.com. And there's an organization that's been started called Mary's Voice, and they're working hard to make Mary's story known. Partly because if what had happened to Mary had happened at any other time, other than like the peak of lockdown, then more people would have known what happened to her. This is a very horrific murder that we all should have known about.
Yeah.
So I have other sources. There was incredible personal coverage by Michelle Bowden, who's a veteran journalist out of North Carolina for WCNC. I read articles in the Charlotte Observer, and then there were a couple of podcasts. In fact, one of them is the reason why I knew about the story, which is True Crime Chronicles, episode 141, Remembering Mary, and another podcast that I listened to called Least of These, episode 59, The Murder of Mary Santina Collins. And there's a third podcast that I didn't listen to. All three of these podcasts are listed on the Justice for Mary Santina website because they want to share all of the media coverage that they have been able to get around Mary's story. So there's only 3 podcasts that I saw on there that they referenced. So I don't think a lot of people are talking about this story.
Well, it sounds like more people should, and I'll make sure that this podcast gets referenced on their site, and we will link their organization in the show notes. Wow, that's fucking horrific. Oh my God. Mary sounds like somebody I would have liked to have known.
Me too.
She
like
sounds
a lot.
Awesome.
Like a lot. Yeah, she sounds super rad.
We need more Marys in this world, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
God, the thing that stood out to a lot of things stood out to me, but the thing that stood out to me was the video that they posted where they're getting her favorite food.
Yeah.
Like the planning that went into this and this charade.
Yes.
Of pretending to be her friend and getting her sushi. It's so fucking dark and sick.
Yep.
On a next level.
Yep.
There was so much nasty intention that went into that I can't understand.
Well, people. I don't know how they did let her plead to second degree, because this was clearly there was malice of forethought here. This was
for sure.
This was planned.
And the arm around her, and I bet she was on cloud 9. Here's my 2 friends, and they've gotten my favorite food, and we're doing this post on social media, and it's fucking devastating to do that to somebody.
Now you know why I texted the other day and told you that I was crying while I was working on this story. It makes me so sad.
I know.
Oh shit, I'm sorry you guys, I'm crying.
It's okay. That is next level fucking dark. To let somebody get happy in that way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate them. Wow. Fuck, sister. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Well, Do you need a refill on your water or something?
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, that was fucking dark.
And I think you've mentioned that we're not going to get a reprieve on the chaos story this week.
No! And there's some parallels, too, happening.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm...
Yeah. I suspect that this is a crime, but there's no evidence of that. This is a missing person case.
Okay.
And so I'm classifying it as chaos, but it's soups probs a crime. But the reason why I chose this is because it's very timely and it's local. It is actually currently, like today, the 30-year anniversary of this unsolved local case. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you about the disappearance of Misty Copsey.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
The dimmest bell is ringing, but I keep going.
Okay, now who's undressing?
It's very warm in here. You know what? Podcasting is like a sport, and once you really get into it, it's like your blood starts pumping and the sweat starts flowing. It's a whole
And you know
thing.
what? It's all very audio sensitive, so it's not an option to have your AC or your fan going in the background.
Right.
So you
Yes.
have to just suffer. Yeah.
We suffer for our entertainment.
Mm-hmm. You're in a small, hot room with no ventilation. Can't open the windows because the neighbors might drive by, and that's going to ruin your audio too.
All of it ruins the audio.
Yeah. Okay, so the disappearance of Misty Copsey. So this is September of 1992 in Puyallup, Washington. And Puyallup, which is it southeast or southwest of Seattle?
It's more like just south. I'm not 100% certain. I mean, it's definitely, I think it's south, maybe actually south, a little southeast. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Yeah, about 45 minutes southeast.
It's just,
Maybe an hour.
An hour, maybe. Yeah,
outside of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they are basically known only for their spring and summer fair. It's their biggest event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Currently going on right now.
Do the Puyallup.
Do the Puyallup. I've done the Puyallup. I don't need to do it again. I lost my cell phone on the Kamikaze one year. I watched it topsy-turvy over and over and over again in the air and then smash into pieces on the ground below me.
Well, at least it smashed into pieces on the ground and didn't smash into a human.
Oh, I know. And this was like 2001 and my cell phone weighed 10 pounds for sure. That would have been fatal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was suspended in the air watching it like slow-mo and I had just bought it. It was like a big deal to even have a cell phone.
Oh, yeah. I remember those times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they're known for their fair. So it's the biggest event. And Misty lived with her mom, Diana, in Puyallup. And Diana was a single parent. 14-year-old Misty was an athlete. She had good grades. And she had a best friend named Trina. Earlier in the summer, there was a little incident where Misty had gone missing and her mom had filed a missing persons report. And then shortly thereafter, Misty turned back up and it sounds like it was a misunderstanding that she had stayed the night or stayed the weekend at Trina's. It didn't really go into detail about what happened, but it sounds like it was a misunderstanding. A missing persons report was filed and it ended up being unnecessary. But that's important to remember because when she came home and was basically like, Mom, I was at Trina's or whatever, I think her mom was embarrassed and didn't go back to the police department to close out the missing persons report.
Okay, this is definitely ringing some bells. Yep. This story's familiar. Yep.
So, September 17th, 1992, Misty and Trina wanted to go to the Puyallup Fair without adult supervision. They're 14-year-olds. So her mom worked night shifts, taking care of an elderly woman. And she wasn't super thrilled about it, but she was like, okay, you can go, but I'm working the night shift and you need to find your own way home and you need to call me and let me know what that plan is to get home and call me and let me know that you're home safely, right?
Sure.
So Misty was pretty familiar with the bus route. What is happening over there? It sounds like you're unzipping a sleeping bag. We just talked about being hot, and now you're getting into a sleeping bag.
Well, I just wanted to lay down and listen to a bedtime story.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Are you snug as a bug?
In a rug or
Okay,
sleeping bag.
great. Or a sleeping bag. Okay. So her mom's like, yeah, find your own way home. So the last bus from the fairgrounds back to Misty's neighborhood left at 8:40 p.m. So this meant that Misty and Trina could have the whole day at the fair and, get on the bus at 8:40 and sounds good to go, right?
Sure.
No big deal. But they're at the fair and they lose track of time and they end up missing that last bus.
I'm sorry, what was the date on this again? August or September?
This is September 1992, September 17th.
Oh, so this is we just passed the anniversary. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they miss the bus. Trina lives just in the next neighborhood over. So she decides she's going to walk home and Trina leaves.
She leaves her friend alone at the fair, at the bus stop.
Mm-hmm. Well, initially that's what happens. But yeah, don't leave your fucking friend.
Never leave your friend. No.
Yeah. So Misty is trying to decide what she's supposed to do. And at 8:45, she calls her mom at work from a payphone and tells her mom that she missed the bus and asks her if she can come and get her. And her mom is annoyed. And she's like, no, I can't get you. I'm at work. I already told you that. You're going to have to start making some calls and figure it out. Right?
Yeah. How far is the walk for her? Could she have walked it?
No. Well, I mean, she could have, but it would be pretty far.
It was
long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Misty tells her mom at first that she's going to call her friend Ruben for a ride. And her mom is like, absolutely not. Because Ruben is Misty's friend who is 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 14 and her mom doesn't like her daughter hanging out with a 18-year-old dude, right?
Yep.
So Misty had an electronic Rolodex because it was the 90s.
Wait a minute, though. Quick question. Why didn't she just walk to her friend's house with her friend? Didn't she regularly stay the night there anyway?
Yeah. Yeah. That comes up later.
Okay, great. Yeah,
that's a great question.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
No, don't be sorry. So she's going through her electronic Rolodex. And Misty never calls her mom back. So Diana is assuming that she just forgot to call and tell her who was giving her a ride and that she would see Misty when she got home. So Diana gets home from work a few hours later and Misty isn't there.
Right.
So she calls Trina's house, but it's really late at this point and nobody answers. She calls her mom, Misty's grandma, and asks if she picked up Misty, and Grandma's like, no, I haven't seen her. And she even calls Ruben. And Ruben tells her that Misty called him and asked for a ride, but he didn't have enough gas to go and get her. So he never picked her up.
Is that true, Ruben? Is that true? I don't know if I believe him.
Yeah. Yeah. So Diana finally calls 911 and they tell her that she has to wait 30 days to file a missing persons report.
30 days? On a 14-year-old? Is that real?
Puyallup. This is what the dispatcher tells her.
Oh, this is another dispatcher telling a mother who's looking for their missing child bullshit that isn't actually true.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of common threads here.
Okay.
So Diana gets in her car and starts driving around town looking for Misty. And she even leaves a note on Trina's door. While she's out, she goes to the sheriff's office and they tell her that the dispatcher gave her incorrect information and that she could report her missing, but she would be listed as a runaway for 30 days before they would start investigating.
For 30 days?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
I can hear those people in the background having a good time.
Yeah, they're playing video games in the living room.
Did you tell them that you're busy? You need to go tell them that you're busy and that you need to put the podcast smackdown on them.
I'm going to tell them right now to shut the fuck up.
That's exactly how you say it.
I'm going to.
Hey, you know what? This is your house.
I said too loud, asshats. Okay, so. That's exactly what I said.
That's perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so What was I saying?
30 days as a runaway.
Okay. Yeah. So, but the problem that Diana is running into is that Misty went missing, she believes, in Puyallup, but they live in like unincorporated Pierce County.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Here we go. Pierce County tells Diana that they can't get involved with the case unless Puyallup PD allows them to.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's the 90s. What are we doing?
It's still like that, by the way. This shit
Oh,
still
I know.
happens. This
I
is
know.
not
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking jurisdictions.
Oh, what's too loud?
All of it, everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're like, yeah, no. So when Trina sees the note from Diana in the morning, she tells her that she last saw Misty when she walked away from her after she decided to walk home, and Misty decided to stay at the fairgrounds and start calling around for a ride. I don't understand why she did this.
I don't understand any of this. Yeah.
Well, I do understand. We'll circle back to that.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
I need answers.
Okay, I've got them. Sort of. So the day after the girls went to the fair was a school day, and Trina told Diana that Misty wasn't at school. So Diana calls Ruben again to see if Misty has reached out to him, because she's thinking maybe she did run away and Ruben knows something. But Ruben isn't home, and his roommate James tells Diana that Ruben went with his uncle and picked up Misty the night before. So
wait a minute. So now Ruben did pick her up?
That's what his roommate is saying. After he told her that he told her no because he didn't have any gas. Mm-hmm. So Diana's fucking pissed, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She calls Ruben later that day and said, hey, I talked to your roommate James, and where the fuck is Misty, right? Yeah. And Ruben tells Diana that James is incorrect, that he did leave, but him and his uncle went to a party together. He didn't go get Misty. He went to a party with his uncle. But it's also like, you said you didn't have any gas.
Maybe his uncle drove?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just okay.
I know. Same. Hard same. I was like, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Diana makes missing person flyers and contacts all of Misty's friends. And she's like, hey, anybody, please tell me if you see her, even if she doesn't want to talk to me, even if she's trying to run away, just let me know that you've seen her, right?
Right, yeah, just proof of life,
something.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. She even is able to track down the bus driver who was on that route for the bus that Misty missed that night. And he said that he saw her that night. He was just finishing up with his shift, and he told her there was another bus coming that she could get on that would take her to Tacoma, which was about 10 miles in the wrong direction. But once she got to Tacoma, she could get off and transfer to another bus that would take her back to her neighborhood. But he doesn't know if she ever caught that bus. He just was giving her the information, and that was it.
Yeah, the thing about navigating bus systems like that, it's like, especially as a teenager, if you're not riding the bus all the time, like to take a bus out of your way to like a city hub, right? And then figure out which one's going to get you home, and then know which stop to get off of or which route it's going to take. Like it's a whole, this is especially back in the early 90s when you didn't have a cell phone where you could look up bus routes like online and like type in where you want to go and get like a detailed instruction on where to go and which bus to take. Like it was a whole thing to get like bus schedules if they had them in stock, and like open the piece of paper and like look at the timetables. Like it's not that simple, right? So
do you remember my oopsie daisy? Well, it's not even an oopsie daisy. Okay, so when I was in the 8th grade, I went to Kennewick to visit my old bestie who had moved there, Crystal.
Oh, I vaguely remember that.
I was supposed to spend the whole summer with her. I was supposed to go on her family trip to Minnesota and go to Six Flags.
Yeah.
And I got horribly, horribly homesick.
Right.
So on the morning that they left for Six Flags, her dad took me to the Greyhound bus place. With mom and dad's permission, I was 14, and I got on a Greyhound to come back to Seattle, and dad was going to pick me up. Well, I'm on this Greyhound and we stop somewhere midpoint to like go potty or whatever. And I hop off the bus, go potty. I come walking out of the bathroom and there's like 12 Greyhounds there. And I hadn't actually looked at my bus number, but I just followed somebody who I recognized as being a passenger on my bus onto the bus they got on. They could have been transferring to God knows where. I made it to Seattle, but yeah.
I had no idea. Why do I not know this story? That is crazy,
I don't know.
man.
Dad picked me up from Greyhound at like midnight.
Amber, I would not take a Greyhound bus alone now.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone like do that when I was 14 or let my 14-year-old do that. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did. Because I
Okay.
didn't want to go to Minnesota anyway. But
Okay,
yes.
so bus driver,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
He's
she
like-
went to Tacoma. Maybe.
Yep. So several days go by with no sign of Misty, and her friends, including Ruben, would periodically call Diana for updates. But Diana still doesn't like Ruben,
Yeah.
and him calling for updates actually makes her suspicious.
Yeah.
Like he's being too nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gives a
So-
shit all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's that thing of like being too involved in a case.
No, 100%. Being in the front row to watch your handiwork.
Honey P. Oh, there's another one of those coming up. You'll get a kick out of this guy. So,
Can't wait.
so it's September 23rd. Diana is finally able to file a missing persons report with the Puyallup PD. And they first search the area around the fairgrounds, but they find nothing. And also it's like, what's the fucking point?
What? It's been
Almost
a month.
Yeah, what are we doing? Like, what's going to be there?
This
know?
is that thing, like Elena, I think on Morbid says it all the time. Like, I'd rather you spend resources and it not be an emergency than not spend resources and have a child missing forever.
Yes.
Like, just,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so they don't find anything. And then the investigation turns to Diana because Diana had a difficult past. Nothing fucking terrible. She had a little bit of a drinking problem and she had a few prior DUIs that popped up. But it wasn't like she wasn't a fucking unfit mother. And then the previous missing persons case that was open and never closed comes up. And so police are already thinking that Diana isn't trustworthy. And now they see that Misty has quote unquote run away before and now she's done it again. So they're like, yeah, whatever, lady.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what? Having an alcohol problem and having a DUI or two on your record does not equate to you being a completely untrustworthy like parent.
No, not at all.
I swear
I mean-
to God, it's like police departments are just constantly looking for reasons not to do their job. Like any excuse that they can hold up that says, oh, we don't have to do this thing. We can throw this in the pile.
Right. And it's like, well, also like doing that kind of work of like a CNA or whatever with elderly care overnight is hard fucking work. And that is because she had a child to take care of. Like that is dedication.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And like you need to call and check in and you need to let me know how you get home. This is not a negligent mother at all.
No, this is that thing where we basically dismiss people below a certain, income line for doing what they have to do in order to make ends meet,
Yeah, she's doing the best she can.
Yeah.
And I mean, Misty gets good grades and she's an athlete and she's got friends and she's,
Right.
what the fuck? Ugh. Anyway, so the police are like, oh, she's a runaway because this has happened before. So on September 29th, the police go to Misty's middle school and they start questioning her friends. And there's a bunch of tall tales because it's middle school.
Yeah.
And kids like the idea of being like in the thick of it, right?
Yep.
So one kid says they saw Misty at a concert. Another one's like, oh yeah, I talked to her the other day. Like all this shit, right? And so police, it just reaffirms their hunch that Diana can't be trusted. Because it's like the police are fucking believing what middle school
I was going to say,
children
because
are telling them.
middle schoolers should be trusted, but not the mom.
Right. That's basically how they're treating this. Is like, yep, we knew it. She ran away. She's like doing things that her mom would say no to, like going to concerts. This is fucking ridiculous. Right. So between the police thinking that Diana can't be trusted and the friends with their stories, the police are totally fed up and they list Misty again as a runaway and they stop investigating. Yeah. And it wasn't until several years later that one of the girls who said that she had heard from Misty came forward and said that she made it up because she was a teenager and she wanted to be a part of the drama because it was exciting.
Fucking teenagers. Did she even apologize for that? Did she feel
I think
bad
she feels
about
really
it?
bad. But in some regards, she shouldn't feel bad. She was a kid. And like the police had the responsibility of filtering the fact that they're getting these stories from fucking children.
Yeah, but who raised her? You know, who raised her?
Not Diana.
No.
Not Diana.
I mean, when I was 14, I would never have like made up a story to tell the police about somebody. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, I can't recall ever being questioned by the police at 14, but you know, I don't know. So anyway, the day after they talk to these middle school kids, law enforcement decide she's a runaway. The sergeant who made this decision actually did an interview on the radio where he was like, nope, this girl's not missing. She's just a runaway. And I think her mom knows exactly where she's at. Mm-hmm.
What? So, okay. So the implication here is that she's just involving the police department for funsies?
Right.
Even though she knows exactly where her daughter is?
Right.
That
The only thing I could think of, and I'm not playing devil's advocate, I'm trying to get into like...
Don't do it. Don't
No,
you
I'm
do
not.
it.
I'm trying to get into the mindset of what would cause a person to say that is like, you know those shows like Scared Straight or something?
Yeah, which those are problematic, but anyway.
They're so fucking problematic, but maybe they're thinking that she's using law enforcement to scare a troubled kid into straightening out her behavior. I don't fucking know. I don't, because otherwise, yeah, I agree with you. What would be the benefit of Diana doing this?
Right. What would be the benefit of her involving the police department if she knew exactly where her daughter was? If she, and here's the thing, if she did know exactly where her daughter was and she was going to involve the police department, all she would have to do is say, she has run away. Will you go get her and drag her home, please? Because cops will do that for minors. Yeah. So she could just tell them where her daughter is and they could go and pick her up and bring her home in a car and they could scare her straight, quote unquote, gross, but they could do it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what she was trying to do.
Yeah, Diana is making missing person flyers and all the things like that. That would be quite the charade to be keeping up with, you know?
Like, do they have some notion of like some missing child's version of like Munchausen by proxy or something?
I don't know.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. And also, it's like, okay, statistically, how frequently has that happened? And how frequently have you written off a child as a runaway when they were actually in danger? Like, let's look at the statistics.
Well, you know, I'm sure that they get a lot of hoax calls, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah. We don't look at statistics. We just know.
We just know.
We just know.
You know,
okay.
We just know things.
We just know things because I have a uniform on and I am special.
That's right.
So here's our cameo. So then Diana gets a call from a man named Corey Bobar.
Okay.
Who is a total stranger to her, but he's offering to help.
Uh-huh.
So who's Corey Bobar, you might ask?
I'm really curious to know who Corey Bobar is.
Well, this is 1992 in Seattle, and Corey is obsessed with the Green River Killer.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And he's convinced that a guy named Randy, who he knows, is the Green River Killer.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not funny.
No.
No.
No, but it is. So keep going.
It is.
Great.
Yeah.
This is great. Keep going.
Yeah, thank you. He told the police that it was Randy. And then he calls them out publicly and told anyone who would listen that Randy was the guy. He is the Green River Killer, and the police aren't listening to him. He is adamant about this.
Okay.
So the police even look at Corey as a suspect.
As the Green River Killer suspect? Well, yeah.
Because he's, because they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah.
Yep.
He is also convinced that the two murders of two young girls in 1988 and 1990 in Puyallup were committed by the Green River Killer. So these two girls were 15-year-old Kim and 14-year-old Anna. And Corey said that these two girls had exactly 2 years and 1 month between the murders. And it was exactly 2 years and 1 month after the last one, which was Anna, that Misty went missing.
Okay, so setting aside that Corey is clearly injecting himself, has some obsessive stuff going on, and we know that it wasn't Randy because we now know that it was Gary.
Yeah, exactly.
There is something to be said about the idea that one of these or all three of these young girls were killed by a serial killer, be it the Green River Killer or someone else. It's not like we don't have our fair share of them around here. But he's just going off like a policeman's gut instinct, like scenario here. He's not a policeman, but you know what I mean? Like he has a feeling. He just knows. He just knows.
He's seeing patterns. And the thing is too, like, again, this is when this is why this turned into a whole deep dive, because I'm like, oh, it's a missing person case, and I'm doing it. And then I'm like, oh, but it's in the same area at the same time that the Green River Killer is active. And then it made me wonder, like, how many non-related cases were just completely muddled by the fact that this was going on in tandem, and also how many cases got completely like no coverage because this was going on in tandem.
Right. 100%. But also, we also know that like Gary Ridgway had like a profile. He had a very specific woman that he was murdering. Yes. And these young girls actually don't fit that profile.
Exactly. But there was that one-off that Ted Bundy did of the 12-year-old who didn't fit the profile.
Yeah, but that wasn't he in berserker mode by then?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was. But anyway, so when Randy's the guy that he thinks did it. When Corey hears about Misty's disappearance, he believes that his prediction is correct. So that's when he contacts Diana.
Okay.
He tells her that he believes that Kim and Anna were killed by the Green River Killer, and that he believes that Misty was too.
Hi, you don't know me, but I'm just calling to tell you that I'm pretty sure that your daughter was killed by the local active serial killer boogeyman that everyone is afraid will get them right now.
Yes. She's still hopeful that Misty is somewhere and will be found alive, and this rando just called, right? Okay.
You know what? This is the downside to one, putting your phone number on flyers, and two, also the phone book days when you had to pay for people not to be able to find your phone number. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yep. So, he's telling her all this, and then on October 5th, Corey calls the sergeant, the one that ruled Misty as a runaway on the radio. And he tells the sergeant about his theories, and the sergeant shuts him down and tells him she's a runaway. The case has been passed over to the sheriff's department for Pierce County. She's not a Green River Killer victim. You're nuts, right? Yeah. Okay. And he said that since they decided that nothing happened to her in their district, like basically what is happening here. Let me break it down a little bit.
Break it down for me, sister.
When it got classified as runaway, it went back to the sheriff's office because it was at the Puyallup PD thinking that something bad had happened to her outside of those fairgrounds. But when they decided arbitrarily that nothing did happen to her and that she was a runaway, it went back to whatever jurisdiction was responsible in her home area, which is the sheriff's department.
Oh,
So
because
this
she's in
case-
unincorporated Pierce County. She
Yeah.
doesn't live in a
Yes.
city. Right. I got it.
If she is a missing person or at risk, it goes to Puyallup PD. If she is a runaway, it goes back to Pierce County Sheriff.
Okay. Because if it
So-
had been a crime that had happened to her, the crime would have occurred in Puyallup.
Correct.
Got it.
Mhm.
Also,
So
just
co-
sidebar on this, there are other countries who think that the fact that we have this insane jurisdiction thing going on in the United States is like insane, because this does
Mhm.
not happen in other countries. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It also probably doesn't happen in other countries that a minor is missing and you have to wait 30 days to get help.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, so Corey's calling Puyallup PD and they're like, not our problem. It's at the county for missing persons, whatever, right? So, so Corey goes to Pierce County Sheriff's and they believe that she is a runaway too, and they aren't investigating it.
Yep.
hmm And this pisses Corey off. So he starts telling anyone who will listen that the police are dropping the ball.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, I don't know yet. I know. I don't know if I love or hate Corey yet. Like he's, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so our friend Corey here, it turns out that he likes to dabble in a little selling of weed.
Mhm.
So since he is slandering the police, they decide to set up a sting operation to have him arrested
For selling weed.
for selling weed.
For
but
selling
really-
like 3.5 gram baggies to his buddies.
Right. Well,
Right.
literally, they have him arrested because he's making the sheriff's department and the police department look bad.
No, I get
Right.
it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So he's arrested in October. The police go to Diana and they tell her that Corey's been arrested for selling drugs, and they advise her not to trust him. And they also advise her to get a restraining order on him. So she does.
Okay.
So at this point, the 30 days have long since passed since Misty was classified as a missing person rather than a runaway. But this doesn't change the investigation at all. They still aren't doing anything, and Diana doesn't know what to do. So in early November, she drops the restraining order against Corey and reaches out to him for help again.
I mean, at least he gives a shit.
She doesn't have help from anywhere else. So she's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to go back to Corey.
Yep.
I just, in my mind, picture Corey like swiping like the tablecloth off and like rolling out a map. Like, here's the plan.
I picture Corey as like the older brother in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, you know? Like
The dishes are done, man.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Yes. I don't know, but you know what? Diana's like, Corey's all I've got, so I'm dropping my restraining order and we're doing it.
Okay.
So, and at this time, the Green River Task Force is sort of back up and running, and it's being aggressively investigated. And police have, in fact, included Kim and Anna as potential Green River victims.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm. And Corey somehow learns that Kim and Anna's bodies were found off of Highway 410 near mile marker 30. So Corey organizes his own search party because he is convinced that Misty is also a victim of the Green River Killer and that something of hers or her will be found in the same spot as Kim and Anna.
Even though there were already 2 bodies found there and the whole area has been picked over clean by the police departments.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it gets good here.
Okay.
I mean, so Corey
I mean-
organizes. I mean, not
Yeah.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
hmm He organizes his own search with people, and they don't find anything.
How high
Then
were
in
they
Ear-
all though? I mean, how stoned was that group? You
I know. I imagine like little treat bags, like thank you treat bags with like weed.
Right.
I don't know. Corey. I mean,
I don't know. I'm just making this
Here's-
up, but
I'm making it up too. But here's the thing. Like if Corey, you know what's sad is that there are people like walking this planet, probably people like Mary, who truly just want to help. And we are such a jaded people that instantly we're like, what the fuck is wrong with Corey?
right. No, I mean, fair
Like,
enough.
you know-
fair enough.
you know what I
you're-
mean?
Yes, you're making me feel bad about making fun of Corey. Keep going.
No, I mean, I was laughing about Corey and this, whoever Randy is, the whole time. I'm like, what is going on? So anyway, so they organize a search. They don't find anything. Then in December, the sheriff's office changes Misty's status again to missing under suspicious circumstances.
Fucking finally.
Finally.
Like 4
That-
months later.
Yeah. Corey then does an interview with the News Tribune and shares his theory about Misty being connected to Anna and Kim and the Green River Killer, and he still thinks that the Green River Killer is Randy. I don't know who Randy is, but poor fucking Randy.
I know. I really want to hear from Randy at this point. And I want to know, I really want to know, what I want to know from Corey is like, what are you going on besides just a feeling? Like, do you have anything that gives you this indication that anyone else would believe this?
I feel like at this point, Randy is some former friend that owes him money or something. You know what I mean?
Probably for weed.
It's like, what the fuck did Randy do? And there's nothing. Randy doesn't make an appearance. There's no last name. It's just fucking Randy.
Okay,
it's
fucking Randy. Okay.
So Diana, she still wants to look at other avenues, not just the Green River Killer. So
Sure.
She said about 3 months after Misty disappeared, she ran into Ruben at a grocery store, and he saw her and literally turned around and ran away from her.
Okay, Ruben.
Mm-hmm.
My suspicions are peaked again.
Yeah. So in January of 1993, it's been about 4 months since Misty disappeared, and a man named Robert Hickey is arrested for forcing a 15-year-old girl into his car. And this happened about 5 blocks from where Misty disappeared. He, this is a trigger warning. He raped her and threw her over a 15-foot ravine.
God.
Mm-hmm. With the expectation that it would kill her, but she survived.
Fucking badass.
She's a badass. And she testified, and he got a whopping 7 years for first-degree rape.
Not attempted murder?
Nope. No. And for the record, I think that rape is right up there with attempted murder. Either way, it should have been a lengthier sentence, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, so he gets out after like 5 years and he rapes another girl. And even though this is what has happened, police never look at him as a suspect.
What?
No.
This guy is in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Attacking young girls Misty's age, and he's not looked at.
Okay.
But the police aren't really doing anything at all.
Right.
And Corey knows about this guy, but he still thinks it's the Green River Killer.
Yeah. For sure. Now, what about those other gals, Anne and Kim? Did they ever clear? We know that they weren't part of the Green River Killers grouping. So, do we ever figure anything out about them?
There's some theories later.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead.
No,
of you.
don't even. I love it. So anyway, he can't figure out why his theory isn't yielding better results. And after looking over his notes, he realizes that when he organized the search on Highway 410, he was looking on the wrong side. He was searching on, I know.
You know what, Corey, you gotta not hit the bong right before you make an important decision on a search area.
I mean, it's a rookie mistake, right?
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. So they're all looking on the north side of Highway 410, and Anna and Kim were found on the south side of 410.
Okay.
So he goes back to the media and announces that there will be a big search on the south side of 410.
He's like the Tim Eyman of
Mm-hmm.
murder investigations.
Yeah, but he announces it. So I'm curious to hear what you think about this. So February of 93, there's the big search on the south side. And this time they find the jeans that Misty was wearing the night she went missing. And near the jeans, they find a pair of socks and underwear that her mom identifies as belonging to Misty.
How long between the announcement and the search was there?
I think a couple weeks.
A couple weeks?
I think so. I'm not positive. The announcement was in February and the search was in February. I don't know.
However long it was, he gave the clearly kidnapper, probably murderer of Misty ample time to plant evidence where they wanted to find it.
Yes. And also, like, if you are the perpetrator, what better, this is going to sound way wrong, opportunity to pin it on, like, he's handing this guy his freedom.
Yeah.
There's an active serial killer and 2 girls were already found there.
Yep.
If I was the murderer, I'd be like, sweet, I'm putting the jeans there.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Corey thinks he's doing good, but I think he's not.
Nope.
No, you don't fucking announce. You don't show your hand.
No.
No. So then it's like, do you really want to help Corey or do you just really want to be on TV?
He wants to be a hero.
Yes, but he's fucking things up. So they find her jeans. There is an investigator on the team who said that he had done a solo rudimentary search of that area a few weeks ago before and didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that those jeans weren't there, but also
They probably weren't. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey announced it. So forensics is done on the clothing. There's evidence that there is dirt on the jeans that is old enough that it indicates that they had been out in the elements for quite some time. But that doesn't mean that they were in that spot.
Right.
Yeah. But now investigators and Diana are suspicious of Corey because 1, he's obsessed with the case, and 2, he found evidence when nobody else had.
Right.
Even though nobody was actually looking for evidence in Misty's case. So, like, when I heard that, it's like, was this an officer driving home on the 410 and like, oh, I'll just pull over and like do a little look-see-loo? That's what it sounds like happened.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a formal search.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So later that month, Corey was finally sentenced for his weed offense, and he's sentenced to 14 months. So now he's out of the picture.
Okay.
He's in jail for 14 months.
Okay.
While he's in jail, investigators visit him and they ask him if they can have his case notes. And Corey tells them to basically go fuck themselves.
Well, yeah, because they probably suspect him.
Probably, yeah.
And they want to see, they want permission to get their hands on whatever he's got so they can start pinning it on him.
Mm-hmm. But now it's like they're finally treating this case the way they should have from day one.
Because of the clothing. Clothing, yeah.
But it's 6 months since Missy went missing, and they're starting from scratch. They're just now starting to investigate. And so they go back to Trina and interview her.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells them that nothing weird happened at the fair. They had a good time. They weren't approached by anyone weird, nothing odd. But what she does tell the police is that the plan all along was for both of them to get a ride home from Ruben. But when, back to Ruben. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's something about the name Ruben. Anyway, keep going.
Well, also because a Reuben sandwich is fucking gross.
It is gross. Why do people like rye bread? It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, thank you. Thank you. Fucking pumpernickel and what are we doing to the bread?
It's so gross.
It's so gross. Oh God, it's the grossest meat. It's the grossest toppings on the.
I love pastrami, but then like
not I
the sauerkraut and then the rye bread, and it's like
to me,
Thousand
Island
dressing. I think there's Thousand Island dressing.
Stop it! Yes, it's like what are the most vile condiments that we can put together and make a sandwich?
Yeah.
That's a Reuben.
Yeah. And then to make it even worse, you turn it into a Monte Cristo by dipping it in an egg.
No!
And making it like a French toast, but not French toast.
Yeah, like some nasty Reuben pocket. No, I don't want that. Yeah, that's what Reuben is. He's a fucking nasty condiment. So, okay. So, yeah, Trina's like, that was the plan all along, and that they did call Reuben, and he did say that he didn't have enough gas to get them. Misty even went as far as telling Reuben that there was money in her house, and she told him how to get into the house, and he could go get gas money, but that he still said no. So police start, this is gross. We don't like Reuben.
No.
Police start looking at Reuben's movements around the time of Misty's disappearance, and they start at the restaurant where he works, and they learn that he has been telling people that he works with that he knew where they could find Misty.
What?
Uh-huh. And that the investigators were about 6 miles off from where they were searching. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one day, police wait for Ruben outside of his work to question him. And when he came out and saw them, he ran. He likes to just run away from people.
I mean, when you're guilty, you run, right?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. So they eventually are able to get a hold of him anyway. They bring him in for an interview, and Ruben says that he was just saying those things at work to sound important.
Okay, Corey.
Yeah, okay, Corey, and okay, like the 14-year-olds from middle school, like you're
right?
a fucking full-grown man.
What is going on in Puyallup? That's what I want to know.
The Puyallup.
Pierce County. I need you to give me some answers. What is happening?
Do better, Pierce County. He said that what he told Diana about not picking up the girls because he didn't have gas was the truth, and that he never saw her that night. He also says that he suffers from blackouts, and he actually had an episode right after Misty called him.
So I have these blackouts.
I'm like, I just don't remember anything I did.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He suffers from blackout. Do you know anyone who actually suffers from blackouts besides alcoholics?
No. Maybe like the occasional epilepsy.
Right, or like a narcoleptics thing, like where they just pass out, but like...
Sure. Like, where's your paperwork that says you've been diagnosed with this?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
You just black out? Okay, first, anyway.
Where's your 504 plan, Ruben? Okay, so he said that happened, and he can't remember anything, that when he has these blackouts, and he said that the night Misty called him, he had a blackout, and that he didn't come to until the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And the next morning, he said that he went to his grandma's house, who lives on 100 acres, even though he has no gas. Yeah. And also, when I read that, I instantly thought of Winnie the Pooh.
Totally, 100-acre
like,
wood.
Your grandma lives in the 100-acre wood? Okay. So, police eventually have to let him go because they don't really have anything on him, but they also do no further investigation into Ruben.
What?
Yeah. They tell Diana that he passed a polygraph, and that's that. Yeah. And then shortly after that, Diana gets a call from Ruben's boss at the restaurant, who was one of the people that Ruben was bragging to. And his boss says Ruben was not just bragging, and that normal people don't do that.
No, they don't.
Mm-mm. No. You don't brag about killing someone.
No.
So Diana decides that the police are useless and she is no longer going to rely on them. And not too
finally,
long. She's toggled back and forth between the police and Corey, but now Corey is locked up for 14 months, so she's got to go somewhere. So it's back to the police, you know?
Yeah, fuck the police because they're doing nothing. So
Right. So not too long after Ruben talked to the police, he sold his car to a wrecking yard to be destroyed.
Of course he did. There's evidence in there.
Mm-hmm. So police go back to Trina, and they learn that she actually didn't walk home that night. They learn that she got a ride from her 23-year-old boyfriend, Michael.
What?
They were 14. This is fucking gross.
Okay, but why didn't her 23-year-old boyfriend, Michael, also first of all, she lived within walking distance, so, like, he gave her a ride from, like, walking distance. Second of all, why didn't they take Misty home?
I don't know, but it's that thing of, like, and again, I'm not devil's advocate. It's that thing of, like, being 14 and lying because you could get in trouble for much smaller shit, but have no way of predicting the bigger shit and the snowball effect that your lying has created. Yep. Like, I would lie too and be like, yeah, I walked home, but who fucking could have guessed that my best friend would go missing and now I've said I've walked home?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, and now I have to stick to it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I have this suspicion that Misty liked having Ruben as a quote unquote friend, and that there was more going on there from the get.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. So yeah, Michael picks her up. Michael is somebody who was accused of rape as a juvenile, but he was never formally charged.
So he's a real winner.
And a weird coincidence is he actually personally knew Kim and Anna.
What?
The two girls who were found off Highway 410. Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the night that the Trina and Misty were at the fair, Trina offered for Michael to pick both of the girls up and take them home, but Misty didn't want to accept a ride from Michael, but she didn't necessarily say why, according to Trina. She had apprehension about getting in his car, so she didn't. So Trina went off with him, and Misty stayed behind and tried to figure out a plan. Mm-hmm.
So how is Misty getting the right gut feeling about Michael and not getting the right gut feeling about Ruben?
I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah. He did pick up Trina and take her home. And one theory is that after Trina was out of the car, he went back and picked up Misty alone.
Oh, Michael did?
Yeah, that's a theory.
Okay.
So in April of 1993, he also, Michael, sells his car, but he sells it privately. And unbeknownst to him, he sells it to an undercover officer who goes and gets it forensically tested.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But no results of those tests have ever been released. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they bring Michael in for an interview. They ask him about the rape as a juvenile, and he tells them that it was a misunderstanding.
Oh, she just didn't understand what was going on.
Mm-hmm. And he was never charged. And since it's a juvenile record, they're not able to access it. And so
right, so they can't get the details of it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nothing comes out of that interview with Michael, so he's released. So it's now September of 93, a year since Misty has disappeared, and police circle back to Ruben, and they interview James, who was the roommate at the time, that says that he went, like,
right,
whatever. Yeah. James says he remembers Misty calling for a ride and Ruben saying no, but the roommate said it wasn't because he had no gas. He said that night, Ruben had his 13-year-old girlfriend over at the house, and Misty got upset.
Oh, my
fucking gross.
What is going on in Puyallup?
I don't know. So Misty gets upset. Ruben left the house and didn't return until midnight. So police bring Ruben back in for questioning, and he maintains his story, except now he's saying that he went to his grandma's house in the 100-acre wood that night, not the next morning.
He went to his grandma's house that night and came home at midnight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where was the 13-year-old in all this?
Don't know. And where was the search warrant for the 100-acre wood?
Right.
Yeah. So in 1997, Corey makes an appearance again because he's out.
Oh, good. Let's get some movement here.
He has requested the records from the forensic evidence collected from Misty's jeans in 93.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And on her pants were hairs, fibers, and 3 red paint chips.
Okay.
And Corey ties the red paint chips back to Randy.
Yeah. We got the crack team on it here.
Oh my God. This is just like, what is going on? So a few years go by, and now we're back to Robert Hickey. He was the guy that raped the girl and threw her over the ravine.
Right.
He was never looked at in Misty's case. In 2001, he is following a woman down the street. He asks her for a cigarette. She says no. She gets real bad fucking vibes from him, so she crosses the street to get away from him. She pulls out her cell phone and dials 911. And while she is mid-dial, he runs at her, pushes her over an embankment, and is on top of her, tearing at her clothes and groping her. When he sees that she is on the phone with 911, he gets up and runs off.
This is in broad daylight?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is brazen.
Uh-huh. So she's on the phone with dispatch while this is happening, and so police are able to get there in time to apprehend him. And of course, our friend Hickey here, which great fucking name. He drives a red Camaro.
Oh.
And so some people speculate that is the origin of the red paint flecks found on Misty's jeans, but no forensics have been done to prove that.
Well, that would be work, Amber.
That would be work. And then, of course, as we all know, later in 2001, Gary Ridgway is arrested for the Green River killings.
Mm-hmm.
And through his confessions and the investigation, he was never linked to Kim or Anna or Misty, for that matter.
Right.
And Corey still believes that Gary Ridgway is a scapegoat and that the Green River killer is Randy.
Corey.
Poor fucking Randy. Who is Randy and why do you hate him?
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Ah, God. So anyway, the hair on Misty's jeans was put into the database and it didn't get any hits. It didn't match Misty or her mom or anyone else, but she was also at the Puyallup Fair on rides.
Yeah.
So it could belong to one of thousands. Who knows?
Yeah.
And that is the disappearance of Misty.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It is the 30-year anniversary.
Poor baby. I don't know, man. I mean, Ruben and Hickey are both good for it.
Yep, totally. And Michael.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. How is she surrounded by so many pieces of shit?
I don't know. You know, it's so weird because I had a friend when I was that age, who I won't name, who weirdly knew or who weirdly had friends that age.
I know who you're talking about.
Did I tell you about the one night with the party and okay. This is like a PSA.
You did. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I do remember this story. And you left.
Mm-hmm. I left. Yeah. But it's like, it's just fucking gross to me. When I was that age, like 18, 19, 20, if I saw a 13-year-old, I would just be like, ew.
Yeah.
I don't want to have anything to do with that. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's not.
What are you doing? It's not right.
It's not right.
Oh, anyway, so I will link the Facebook page to find Misty in the show notes. My sources was Crime Junkie, Missing, Fandom, The Charlie Project. The Charlie Project is fucking awesome. Have you been on that website?
No.
CharlieProject.org is really fucking good. Cairo 7 and Ranker.
Wow.
Sources.
Wow, Sissy, that was a lot.
I'm sorry.
No, I just wonder, when are they gonna, this belongs in like a cold case team. This
Mm-hmm.
needs to be revived by a cold case team. You know, Pierce County needs to get on their shit and
Mm-hmm.
re-look into this stuff, you know?
Well, too, it's like the complications of something else happening in the throes of an active serial killer and it being totally overlooked or not, not the highest priority.
Yep.
Is just fucking devastating. It's devastating in the same way that Mary, that her situation happened during COVID. It's like the timing of it was so fucking unfair.
Yep. The timing and the location in this case, but yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because if the circumstances were different, this probably could have been solved by now. You know?
And also, we've come a little. I would think that we would be better about caring about kids at this point. I mean, at least we have Amber Alerts and stuff. But this whole they ran away thing has just got to stop.
Yeah, because even if they ran away, there is a child in distress.
Yes, and possibly in danger because they ran away from home and no one knows where they are or if they are safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also too, I have the utmost respect for 911 dispatchers and all the things. I know that is a particularly hard job, but it was also, I think, don't quote me on this, the same dispatch center that took the call in the Susan Cox.
Oh, and that's a whole other fucking...
Where the dispatcher was like...
Yes.
That was also Puyallup. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Someone is asking for help. What are we doing?
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, thank you for that one, Sissy.
You're welcome.
I feel just so much for Misty's mom. Is she alive still and still looking?
She is, yeah. Still looking.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And the Puyallup Fair is going on right now. I'm sure that is every year difficult.
Something happens. Oh, and a difficult time for her. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will definitely link all the resources in the show notes.
Great.
And yeah, fuck.
Good job,
and for Mary's family too. That's terrible.
Yeah, all of it.
What a sweet human.
What a bummer of an episode we just did.
This was a fucking bummer episode. Thank you so much.
You're
for
so
all of
welcome.
That.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me along on your bummer journey.
Thank you for bringing me along on yours.
Anytime, Sissy. Anytime.
Well, I fucking love you.
I love you too. This was fantastic.
It was fantastic, and it was motherfucking
chaotic.
Yeah. Bye.
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 Thank you for joining us on this episode of Crime, Wine, and Chaos. Artwork by Erica Peterson. Music by Paul Abner. Audio editing by Amber Clifton. We are on Facebook at Crime, Wine, and Chaos and on Instagram at Crime, Wine, and Chaos Pod. If you would like to support the show or submit a listener story, you can visit our website at crimewineandchaos.com for our Patreon link and listener story submission. Cheers!